Hello and how you doing, and welcome back to Two Jagoffs. I am your host, Austin Cairns, right back here in Point Park's beautiful media hub. And as you can see, we're bringing in the Halloween spirit. I got the Friday the 13th shirt on. I got all the NFL hats, which means it is our NFL weekly predictions. Now, here's the unfortunate thing. I am all alone in the media hub today. There is no Lucas Coons and my dad. Neither one of them could make it today. Unfortunately, my dad has been caught up with some work stuff recently, so we're wishing him nothing but the best. I love you, Dad. I miss you. We're going to get you back on soon as possible. And Lucas, he has some other stuff going on right now that he needs to attend to, so we're giving him the day off. He's been working really hard for us, so we love you, LK. We miss you too. We'll be back soon. With that all being said, though, I think it is finally time that Pittsburgh's favorite Jagoff, 880's most elite, takes over this podcast. We have a lot of good games to get into, so let's get into Thursday night.
Whoa. I'm sorry, but I cannot let that happen. This is Two Jagoffs, not a Jagoff podcast. Downtown Nick Brown will be coming to your savior. Again, it's nice to see you all, people. I am Nicholas Brown, in for Lucas Coons today. This guy ain't doing this podcast alone. That would be a train wreck. It's good to see you. I can interrupt you here. I can interrupt you on Steel City. And I most certainly can interrupt you on your radio show like I did this week. It's good to see you. Hello, nice to see you.
Good to see you, Downtown Nick Brown. How you doing, my friend?
Good.
I love the Day of Giving shirt that you're representing. I think I gifted that to you guys on your new management podcast, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Well, ladies and gentlemen, if you couldn't tell by the Some Guy Named John intro that you did.
Oh, God.
Nicholas Brown will be joining me on Two Jagoffs today as the honorary Jagoff. Of course, when the main Jagoffs go down, the honorary ones step up. And Nick, I know you've been desperate to get on the weekly predictions this year.
This wasn't even planned.
This wasn't planned. We were literally talking about it, saying yesterday, when can I come on and do the predictions? And I said, well, some stuff popped up with both Lucas and my dad, so in comes you. So that's always good to be prepared. And that's a life lesson that a lot of the viewers can take away. Always be prepared, because you never know when your opportunity is going to come.
You can't do this by yourself. It's be no fun.
I will say I have done episodes by myself, and the longest episode in this podcast, a little history lesson for you. The longest episode in the history of Two Jagoffs was an hour and 47 minutes of me talking about all the NFL free agents by myself.
I would have probably muted 20 minutes in.
Shut the hell up.
Especially because you sound... Well, we're both sick at this point, so
yeah,
we're
getting
sick
there.
buddies.
I'm actually feeling better now. I am
feeling better. We're rocking cough drops.
Yeah, I got little...
We have water everywhere. But you cannot do weekly predictions by yourself. So, guys, it's Thursday. This is what I'm thinking, and literally go through every game. Hell no, that's not happening, because your savior is here.
Thank you for saving me. I know you had a busy week. We interviewed Sherry Payne yesterday on Steel City Commuters for her first podcast. Yes. We'll talk about that probably on the radio show next week and Steel City the following. But the big one that I want to talk about is actually the one I did here this past Sunday. And I know you just talked about it yesterday, but for the Two Jagoffs viewers out there, enlighten them. What did you think about my man Greg Brown coming on the podcast?
The voice of the Pittsburgh Pirates. I literally thought I was watching a Pirate game, because he sounded the exact same. He had that same energy. He had that same focus, that same dedication, trying to tell a story. And instead of trying to tell a story of the Pirates, he told his own story. Mm-hmm. And the one thing that caught me off guard was Greg actually in sports, playing the sport and also commentating at the same time. That is very tricky to do. But again, Greg is that exceptional, outstanding individual that can do that. And he set the bar high for you, for me, for other broadcasters going forward, and juggling this aspect of the business, because this business right now, Austin, is hefty. And Greg is a mentor to you, is a mentor to me, just, watching on TV, and how Greg plays that role of actually being the other co-host on Sportsnet Pittsburgh. When you have two people and when you're trying to broadcast a game, it is very tricky to do it yourself. Mm-hmm. And so the chemistry that Greg has built, the chemistry that this interview showed, just goes to prove what the broadcasting business and what this career is all about. And Greg opened up. He doesn't sugarcoat a damn thing.
No, he exposed the Pirates.
Terrible.
Terrible.
That is the clip that you posted. I think that was Thursday? Monday's clip. Literally. How to describe the Pirates, Greg? Just terrible. That is the one word. And when you can describe something in one word and expand upon that belief, you have an understanding of that concept. And Greg has an understanding of everything in this business. You throw it at Greg, he can throw it right back at you.
And that TikTok video blew up. I am shocked. That is the most viewed TikTok we ever got. We got an 85% increase in followers. We have over 1,000 views alone. 1,000 likes alone from the 2 promos. And in total, with the 2 promos, the Monday and Tuesday, actually no, the Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, the 3 promos that Greg Brown had, in, over 10,000 views on TikTok alone.
Can I ask why we're alone? Can I ask the people on TikTok, why in the hell are we hating on Greg Brown?
Yeah, why? What's up with that? I mean, hey, it's free country, it's free speech. You can speak your opinion, but come on.
Some of them comments were just like, well, I love the one about Greg's the GOAT. Yeah, we know. But the ones that were like, oh, Greg's not going anywhere. You know, Greg's old. It happens in every career. It happens in every lifetime.
It's okay. We'll be getting those hate comments pretty soon, probably, too.
Pretty soon we're going to be, all right, it's time to give it up. It's time to hang it up.
It's time to hang it up.
But Greg isn't hanging it up anytime soon.
No.
Because the voice of the Pittsburgh Pirates is here to stay. And I'm definitely looking forward in the offseason to seeing what they do behind the scenes, because I think that's really going to set the stage for this upcoming season with Point Park alum head coach right now, General Manager Don Kelly. You have Ben Cherington coming back. There's a lot to build upon from last season to this season. And Greg talks about that in how the offseason and training camp, and there were different things going on about it. But Greg, an awesome interview. Thanks for coming on 2 Jagoffs.
Thanks for coming on 2 Jagoffs.
All right, let's get to NFL. This is the most important. This is why I'm here.
But I do want to make one quick announcement real quick before we get to NFL. With that being said, Greg Brown is now officially every single major sports broadcaster in the Steel City to have been on 2 Jagoffs. The voice of the Steelers right now, Rob King.
Yes.
The voice of the Pittsburgh Penguins, Josh Getzoff. The voice of pretty much every Pitt athletic, Bill Hillgrove, or if you even want to loop Jason Earl in the mix. And now Greg Brown. We have officially had every single major sports broadcaster here in Pittsburgh. So with that being said, me now being a fellow broadcaster myself, I have about almost 30 shows under my belt in terms of wrestling. I think it's now time we start going at the Pittsburgh indie wrestling commentators.
Yes.
So this Sunday on 2 Jagoffs, if you couldn't tell by my Facebook, LinkedIn, and X post and the Instagram story from today, Joe Dombrowski, one of my biggest mentors outside of Greg Brown in this sport, has taken me under his wing and is now coming on 2 Jagoffs. It is one of the longest interviews I've done. It is one of the most important interviews that I've done. And in my opinion, it is one of the best interviews I've done. Joe Dombrowski is officially coming on 2 Jagoffs this Sunday. Nick, I know you got to meet him behind the scenes actually and help me shoot that promo. I'm excited for it.
The promo was very...
We don't want to spoil it yet because it's not out yet.
Right.
But it was good.
Let's just say...
I have a lot of work to do.
No, this needs to happen more often, is the impromptu and improv.
Yes.
That's the best part of it. Joe walking in here was just like up my alley. He was like, oh yeah, and how did he greet you? He just like threw shots at you like I do.
It's because me and Joe's are buddies outside. You can tell me and him are close now. Like, it's not like Greg walking. Like, I'm close with Greg too, but like...
The professional right there is just like host of the Pittsburgh Pirates.
Yeah.
That he can either hurt your career or like bring you up. But Greg threw shots at you too.
Yeah, everyone does. Like, what the hell? I think Josh and Bill were the only 2 that didn't throw shots at me.
Maybe because I set the bar high, and everybody looks at me for setting that bar.
All right. Anyway, let's get to the NFL games.
It's a good week. It's a good week.
It's a very good week, and I'm glad, and I'm a little sad that Lucas isn't here for it because he's the Steelers fan. I would love for him to take over the primetime slot. You got a Cowboys and Cardinals fan talking about Thursday Night Football, but here we go. Thursday Night Football. We got some AFC North battle between the Pittsburgh Steelers and Cincinnati Bengals. Last week, the Steelers won in division competition against the Browns 23-9, while the Bengals lost to the Green Bay Packers 27-18. This will be Aaron Rodgers versus Joe Flacco. The second time in NFL history 2 quarterbacks over the age of 40 have gone to battle. The first being a couple years ago with Brady and Breeze, Tampa and New Orleans. Nick, I'm going to bounce this to you on this one first. Last week, we saw the Steelers dominate the Cleveland Browns in surprising fashion. Yes, the Browns are atrocious, but at the end of the day, this is still division football here. This is still AFC North football we're talking about. The Browns upset the Steelers at one point in time when they were much worse than they are right now. My question to you is this a trap game in Cincinnati? Is Joe Flacco going to upset the Steelers one last time, or are the Steelers going to continue this rule that they are on?
This is AFC North football, people. This is probably one of the most important games, second back-to-back. It is very hard to win back-to-back division games, especially because Mike Tomlin is, 0-6 on the road on a Thursday night?
I'm not sure
There was some crazy stat that I was shocked. I am picking the Steelers for Thursday night. I'll tell you why. Steelers are coming off a big win off of the Browns.
Oh, my gosh. Okay. Peanut Peyton.
We are now moving to the Bengals. It is another AFC North team that is just banged up. They are just looking for answers.
Mm-hmm.
Why in the hell would you trade for a division rival QB?
Yes.
And I think you guys brought that up too last week, and I continue to build upon that. That is probably the dumbest move in football. Joe Flacco, I think, understands this team, understands the Bengals, is trying to help them here. But again, the Bengals are just banged up. They have a lot of penalties. The offense is just horrendous. The penalties from offense and defensive team, I have no idea what this head coach is doing. Kevin, right?
Zach Taylor.
I'm sorry, Zach Taylor.
Kevin Stefanski's Cleveland. It's pretty easy.
Both of them are so bad.
I don't know about not Stefanski. I like Kevin Stefanski. We'll talk about that when we get to the round.
Zach Taylor.
I agree with you on Zach Taylor.
I wish this game was in Pittsburgh. Well, the second one. They can leave Zach Taylor here. I'm sorry. Zach is just so out there. I can't pick him. I just can't pick the Bengals. I got to pick Steelers primetime. It's very hard when Mike Tomlin is hurting on a Thursday night and it's a short week. He seemed really pissy Monday night or Monday in the afternoon press conference. I have to go with the Pittsburgh Steelers because they're building this momentum. They could really run away with the division with an asterisk at this point. With an asterisk. But they can run away.
Look, here's the deal with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Obviously, they are winning the division by default. That is kind of what I've alluded to on both Steel City and 2 Jagoffs. When you have a team like the Baltimore Ravens who practically have half their team in the ER, when you have the Cincinnati Bengals without Joe Burrow, and when the Browns are browning, there is really no hope for the rest of this division. The Pittsburgh Steelers are playing good football, though. TJ Watt is playing good football. Cam Hayward is playing good football. I like Peyton Wilson, too. I don't like when he drops in the coverage. Every tight end beats him on every short route that he runs, so that's the one critique I have in terms of defense. Overall, offensively, though, Aaron Rodgers is playing good football. He does not look like he's 40 years old. Yeah, when he takes off, he's not the same that he once was in Green Bay, but that's obvious with age. No quarterback's going to be able to run at 40 years old. Do you think Brady was able to? No, we saw that Tampa Bay cluster that we saw in week 7 or 8 or whatever it was against the Falcons his last year, whenever he fumbled the football going in the end zone. So it's obvious, like Aaron Rodgers, yes, he's up there in age, but he's playing good football, and this DK Metcalf acquisition continues to show that was the best move the Steelers organization has made in the last several years. I'm going to agree with you, Nick Brown. I don't think there's really much more to go on here. The Steelers are on the road. It is tough to win back-to-back division games, but when you're going up against a team like Cincinnati, who just got Joe Flacco, it's not like Flacco's been there. He just got there within the last 2 weeks. It's going to be a lot harder to get to know the playbook. He's a veteran. He's a Super Bowl champion. We get all that. But I'm going to go Aaron Rodgers here. I'm going to go Pittsburgh Steelers. I don't think it's going to be as out of reach, though, as that Browns game.
It's not going to be close. It's going to be close.
I think it's going to be a lot closer than people are imagining. I'm not expecting an upset. I am expecting the Steelers to handle business. But I wouldn't be surprised if it comes down to a game-winning field goal or a game-winning Aaron Rodgers drive. I would not be surprised at all. I agree with you, Nick Brown. Let's go Steelers this weekend.
Go.
Or this week, I should say. Tonight, I should say. Tonight. I'll be at Thursday Night Fights, but I will definitely be watching on my phone.
It's just hard to bet against this team right now. And when you're playing something with like the Bengals, when you're so banged up, you can't do anything about that. No matter who you bring in, no matter how hard you try, you have to go with your home team in this case.
Let's move into Sunday now. We got a lot of games on Sunday. There's only 2 bye teams this week.
And none of them are flexed.
None of them are flexed as of right now. But we do have another London game, so I'm so sorry for the people that have to get up early. The Los Angeles Rams are taking on the Jacksonville Jaguars. Now, the Jaguars, although they did win 2 weeks ago on Monday Night Football against the Chiefs, they lost this past week to the Seattle Seahawks 20-12 in what was a bit of a disappointing game. Yeah. But in all honesty, they did show a lot of light. And the LA Rams, 17-3 against the Ravens. I expected a bigger ass kicking, but they still handled business and got the job done. I'm going to start things off here and say this. I am very worried about the Rams long term because of Puka Nacua going down.
Yes.
Puka Nacua was the peacemaker of this team. Puka Nacua was the vocal point of this offense. Puka Nacua was arguably the best wide receiver in football throughout the first 6 weeks of the regular season. So losing him is like losing practically your entire offense. Now, that's not to say the Rams don't have other key players. Let's not forget Devontae Adams is still on this team, arguably the best receiver of our generation. Let's not forget that Matthew Stafford, a future Hall of Famer, is at the quarterback position. Let's not not forget that Kyron Williams, although he did have those fumble struggles a couple weeks ago, still is one of the better third down backs, second down backs in this league. Let's not forget the Rams have a Super Bowl winning head coach
Exactly.
in Sean McVay. So although the Rams are losing a key player, I feel like they're the team to rally. Yes, they're on the road. Yes, they're going down the Duval County. But I believe they're going to get the win this week against the Jags. Now, here's the thing with the Jaguars. I'm a big Trevor Lawrence fan. I love the way he plays football. The reason why the Jaguars are finding success this year is because of Liam Cohen. Out of every new head coach that we saw this past year, I would argue Liam Cohen is the best. Not only because he has the only winning record ever out of every new head coach, Liam Cohen has completely changed the culture. And out of every coach that we saw Lawrence work with, Lawrence seems the most confident and the most devilish under Cohen. I'm still going the Rams. It'll be a close one. It'll be a fun one. What's your thoughts, my friend?
Another London game. Why is football starting at 9 a.m. Eastern time and ending at midnight Eastern time? That is just too long of a football day. I am going with the Rams this week.
Oh, great. You're turning into Lucas now, and my dad just agreeing with me.
I think Matthew Stafford is playing really well right now. He's distributing that ball. He's comfortable in that pocket. Puka Nacua, though, as you said, I mean, you just can't mince words. He is a peacemaker. He is like the all-star at this team.
Mm-hmm.
He's week to week. Rams have a bye coming up, so that actually is in decent place of how this turns out. Trevor Lawrence and the Jags, yes, what's going on right now, they're decent, but this team is so unpredictable, it's not even funny. One week they can look like a Super Bowl team, and the following week they could just look like a bat out of hell. Like they're just rolling out of bed. Turnovers is something big too. Jags and Trevor Lawrence are turnover prone right now. I'm going Rams.
Next game we got is our first 1 o'clock slate. New Orleans Saints, Chicago Bears. The Bears coming off a game-winning field goal from Mr. Jake Moody, 25-24 against the Washington Commanders on Monday Night Football, while the Saints suffered defeat against the Patriots 25-19. Look, I mean, the Saints are a bottom-feeding team in the NFL. They've kept it close with most teams this year, but we don't expect much out of them. It's a development year. It's a year to kind of see what you have in the guys on your roster and obviously draft for the future next year. Spencer Rattler is just a placeholder. He's a one-year guy. He's not going to stick around. Chicago, though, this is the Ben Johnson that I've been waiting to see. This is the Caleb Williams I've been waiting to see. I was very impressed with this team on Monday night. My issue is it going to fluctuate and is it going to continue late in the season? We've seen the Lions up and off and on. Obviously, they lost to the Chiefs. A lot of people expected them to win. The Packers earlier this year lost to the Browns. We expected them to win. The Vikings, we didn't expect the injuries to happen. That obviously happened. The Bears still have a chance to compete in this division. Not win it, but they have a chance to compete with their fellow division rivals once it comes time for those division games. This is a must-win game, though. You cannot go out there and upset an NFC favorite in the Commanders and then lose the following week to one of the worst teams in the NFL, especially at home in Ben Johnson's den. Give me the Bears. If they lose this, you can say the season's over. I'm not ready to say that far yet because we're still a little bit early on. This was a good win for the Bears. You got to keep it going.
I'm torn here because every time I bet against, a team that is just atrocious and disastrous the one week, next week they're just like high and mighty and they prove me wrong. And this is a series of upsets that we've had every week. The Bears are playing football right now, decent football, but if they lose this one, count them out. Say goodnight, sayonara, pack the bags. I have a feeling though this could either go one way, and this if the Saints come out of the start and power through and score first drive, first possession, that could really set this game. I really don't want to pick the Saints. I really want to pick the Bears. Something is telling me, though, to pick the Saints. I don't know if I should go with that gut or just go with the Bears.
You're allowed to.
I know, but I want to try and win me some money on this poll.
Okay.
Show me the money.
Do you know what movie that's from?
I don't.
Oh, you don't know the Show Me the Money. You don't know what football movie that's from?
No.
Jerry Maguire.
Okay.
Strongly recommend. In my opinion, it's one of the best football movies.
Give me the Chicago Bears.
It's not a bad pick.
It's not a bad pick. I think Chicago's going to be able to pull out, and I think they're going to stop the Saints real quickly and, just show football. But something tells me to go with the Saints, and you had that thing like the Cowboys last week. So
who knows?
who knows? Give me the Saints, or give me the Saints. Give me the Bears.
Dolphins and Browns are our next game. We mentioned the Browns lost earlier to the Steelers. The Dolphins actually kept it relatively close, losing 29-27 to the Chargers. Look, here's the thing with the Dolphins. At this point in time, it is now Mike McDaniel and Tua Tagovailoa on the hot seat. They've been on the hot seat all year. I would argue Mike McDaniel has lost the locker room. I would say he lost the locker room at the end of last season after that poor performance. Tua, unfortunately, is an injury-prone quarterback. We know that. We understand the concussion history. We understand the injury history that he had all the way back to Alabama days. We understand that Tua Tagovailoa is a locker room leader in some sorts, but at times puts the blame on players and never puts the blame on himself. We understood that from his press conferences. My philosophy going into this game, though, is you need to beat the Browns by using your skilled players. Who has been the best player on the Dolphins throughout the first 6 weeks? It is Devon Achane, your running back. Achane has been a powerhouse. He has been a workhorse. Achane is the guy you want to hand the ball off to at least 20 or 25 times a game. The only issue with that is you're going against the best run defense in the NFL in the Cleveland Browns. The Browns can stop the run. Myles Garrett got stopped last week by the Steelers. I was impressed with Broderick Jones. I know Lucas isn't here. I wish he was here so I could make fun of him on it because he's not a Broderick Jones guy. I actually got to give Jones some credit. He did a really good job of containing the best rusher in the league. I don't believe they're going to be able to stop this run, though, this week. I think Achane is going to be able to expose and go through this defensive line. It's going to be a close game. Dylan Gabriel, still feels like has a lot to prove. And one more bad game, we might be calling for Shedeur Sanders eventually. So give me the Dolphins here. I know it's a home game. I think the Dolphins are going to win on the road.
I agree. I think the Dolphins are going to win on the road. Cleveland is just so bad right now. It's not even funny. The Cleveland Browns, you just can't take them. I mean, Steelers come in. I mean, they came to Pittsburgh. Steelers showed them who's the boss, how to get the job done. There's just no way Cleveland is going to be able to pull this. They're like falling right now with the Ravens. They're tied in division in AFC North right now, 1-5. If Miami loses this game, I don't know if you can blame that on players or the head coach, but you can even debate this too, Austin, that this could be a risk of why you could bet against Miami. I think it was somebody on the TV. It might have been, I don't think it was Tua though, saying players are showing up late to meetings. They're like, meetings are one-on-one, like players aren't caring. They're just like in shambles.
And you want to know who that falls on? That falls on the head coach. That right there shows that you lost the locker room.
Exactly.
If your players aren't showing up to those meetings and they're not caring enough to come and participate, that just shows there is no discipline. And at the end of the day, the one person to be able to hold them in line is the coach. So yeah, that's a good point because McDaniel has lost the locker room.
He has lost the locker room. And I don't know if that is a week to week, if that's like a long-term, short-term basis. That makes me want to bet against Miami every single week. And I just don't know when you can start that. But if you're playing the Browns, anything could happen. Mm-hmm. Who knows what's going to happen on the road? There's no way I see the Browns pulling out ahead of this. I mean, look at their performance last week in Pittsburgh. It's just not going to happen. I mean, it's a home game. That's great. I see. Give me the Dolphins.
All right, Dolphins it is. Next up, New England Patriots, Tennessee Titans. Now, the Patriots we talked about before already getting that win against the Saints. The Titans lost 20-10 against the Raiders of all teams last week. The Raiders dropping the 1-5, and with that developing story out of the NFL, first head coach to be fired is Brian Callahan. Ready for your rant session of the day, Nick Brown? This is your first time seeing an Austin Cairns rant on 2 Jagoffs. The Tennessee Titans are a disgrace. We're just going to say that right now.
Okay.
There is a theme that is going on in the NFL right now, and this isn't just the Titans. It's every team that is getting the number 1 overall pick. Us as NFL fans and NFL general managers alike are thinking in the same breath, and that is a mistake. Why the hell are you drafting a quarterback in the first round, number 1 overall, 2 overall, 3 overall, 5 overall, whatever, and then you immediately fire that coach 5 games into the season? What you're doing right there is setting your quarterback up for failure. Why do you think I have defended Trevor Lawrence so much? Why do you think I defended Sam Darnold so much and Baker Mayfield so much? The reason why I defended those guys is because they were unfairly treated their first 3 seasons in the NFL. When you're coming out of college and going to the NFL, it is a whole new world, a whole new atmosphere. I hate the term that people says, "Oh, you're not NFL ready yet. You're not pro ready yet." Guess what? Nobody's NFL ready yet because you haven't played on the NFL level yet. You're not going to know until you're actually there. We saw a first-round pick in Trey Lance be out of the league in his first couple years, and Mr. Irrelevant Brock Purdy, the last pick in the draft, be the franchise guy of the Niners and go to the Super Bowl. So it doesn't matter where you're drafted. It matters how you develop in the NFL, how you connect with it. So firing Brian Callahan, if he was a cancer in the locker room, or if he was that big of a deal, yeah, get rid of him at the end of the year when you can make adjustments. Cam Ward has such a high ceiling, very high ceiling. But you get rid of the coach that drafted him, that trusted him, that went to his house, met with his family, and promised him that you will be a Tennessee Titan in my new era. Well, guess what? You get rid of his ass the first 6 weeks of the season. Whose era is it now?
Right.
Now Cam Ward is going to have to connect with the interim coach, which is then going to lead to a new head coach next year, whether it's the same guy or a new one that they bring in. And that coach is going to have a whole different philosophy on the Titans going forward. And that might not be the structure that Cam Ward is going to be able to play in. And that is setting up your quarterback for failure, because now you're asking a rookie quarterback who is already adjusting to the pros, who is already adjusting to a new system, to now go onto a whole new system on the fly in your rookie year. Why do you think Sam Darnold didn't start looking good till he got to Minnesota? It's not because of the system he was put in. It's because of the coaches he was surrounded with. Why do you think Baker Mayfield all of a sudden is doing so good in Tampa Bay? It's because of the atmosphere that he is now in, and the Browns gave up on him for whatever reason. Why do you think Trevor Lawrence is looking pretty good these first couple weeks? It's because of Liam Cohen. It's because of the coaches you surrounded with, guys that you believe in. If you don't believe in your quarterback and you don't believe in your coach, it's not going to work out. That is why I always say when you rebuild a team, you need to start from scratch. Coach and quarterback should be brought in at the same time, not one or the other, because that is what sets you up for success. So the Titans, you screwed yourself, and you are screwing your rookie quarterback. We've seen it with Caleb Williams. He struggled his rookie year. We've seen it with Trevor Lawrence. We've seen it with Baker Mayfield. It's a theme with literally the last 4 quarterbacks that were drafted in the first round, Nick. The first 4 quarterbacks taken off the board all had their coaches fired in their rookie season. That is the theme that we are on right now, and it just happened again this year with Brian Callahan. So what are we going to hear now from the NFL world? We're going to hear, oh, well, maybe Shedeur should have been drafted number 1 overall. No, it's not that Shedeur shouldn't have been drafted number 1 overall. It's that maybe you should have put your quarterback in a better situation. So Cam Ward, leave the hate off of him for now. He doesn't deserve it. He just lost his head coach. In terms of the game he's playing this weekend, give me the Patriots by 1,000,000. Drake May is going to light it up this weekend in Tennessee. Drake May has been on an absolute roll. He is my comeback player of the year. Love Mike Vrabel. Love his system. This is the best version of the Patriots that we have seen since Brady has retired. Patriots might be able to go to the playoffs with the way they are playing right now. I'm very impressed. Give me the Pats. Sorry, Nick Brown. I had to do my rant of the day.
There's no way you can pick the Titans. They have such coaching disarray. They have internal disarray problems. This whole team is lacklustering itself. From coaching to coordinators to just everything going on behind the doors before you get to the field. When you get to the field, Austin, it just goes to show what kind of team this is. I mean, shambles. You can pick apart this team like no tomorrow. Give me the Patriots, Drake May, and this coaching staff. Mike Vrabel, he's doing some phenomenal work. He was able to kind of revive this Patriots team that was in this slump. And now you got Drake May playing some really good football. It's eager and it's interesting to see what Drake May is going to do every week, because he pulls a different play out and he's just able to sling that ball downfield. And that's what you want to see as a QB.
And I'm excited to see Vrabel get his revenge on the former team that they got rid of.
Yes.
About time you get revenge on the team that you gave 2 playoff wins to. They haven't won a single game since. Just saying. Next game we got AFC West battle. Almost said South. AFC West battle between the Las Vegas Raiders, Kansas City Chiefs. We just talked about the Raiders getting an upset win against the Titans. The Chiefs obviously did some good things themselves, defeating the Detroit Lions last week. They're back. I don't mean to turn into like my little Candace Owens impression there, but they're back. Kansas City looked really good last week. There's no denying Patrick Mahomes. There's no denying Andy Reid. I'm going to sit up here and say this, Nick Brown. How many interceptions has Geno Smith threw this year? It feels like at least 2 or 3 a game. Give me Kansas City. I know that Vegas, it's a division game. They're on the road. I don't see no way in hell that the Raiders beat the Chiefs unless by some miracle something happens to one of their star makers. I will say this. I am nervous about this run game. Kansas City really needs to figure this out. Pacheco, you need to get more touches. Hunt, he needs to get more touches. They figured it out a little bit last week against Detroit. We finally saw Pacheco get more carries than Mahomes, which is good. That's what you want out of your running back. I blame that on Matt Nagy, their offensive coordinator, who I'm not a fan of at all. There's a reason why he's not a coach in Chicago anymore. Notice it's the Chicago coaches.
Yeah, something must be going on in Chicago that we don't know about.
It was Matt Nagy, Matt Eberflus.
Yeah.
I like Ben Johnson, though. I do like Ben Johnson.
You sure? Can you confirm that?
I can. Well, Ben Johnson was a Lion.
Okay.
Originally, so he's not a homegrown Bear. But I like Spags. I like Reed. I'm excited for this Chiefs team. I know me and you had debates on Steel City about officiating, coaching staff, and all that. I feel like that's really not too important to talk about in this game per se. This is just some divisional football at the end of the day. So I'm going to go Chiefs here. I'm excited to talk about the plays.
They're aggressive. Andy Reid is aggressive. When you're aggressive from the first quarter all the way through the end of the game, there's no way you can lose a football game. When I mean aggressive, Austin, they go for it on 4th and 2. They go for it on 4th and 3. Even when they're at the 1 yard line and it's 4th down, he goes for it, and they're able to get it. When you have two powerful coordinators on offense and defense, and you have such players that holding to a high task, discipline along the way, Andy Reid actually getting in their faces, and the communication along with the self, there is no way a team like this is going to be able to lose football. Give me the Chiefs over the Raiders. Raiders are just a total collapse right now. Raiders are not going anywhere. Season's over. You can pack the bags as well, and you'll be on the couch when the playoffs start.
Well, next game we got is the Minnesota Vikings hosting the Philadelphia Eagles. Vikings are coming off that nice crisp bye, while the Eagles are coming off of a bit of an extended week, some would say, after a Thursday night football disaster against division rival the New York Giants. This marks 2 straight weeks the Eagles has taken an L. 34-17 was the final score, and I'm going to quote my friend Drew Brees. Not my friend. He's not my friend. I wish he was my friend. But one of my favorites I like to see on ESPN now, Drew Brees. The Philadelphia Eagles are the most boring team in football.
It is.
If you really think about it, run, shovel pass, run,
tush
play
push.
action, tush push, touchdown, celebration, missed PAT. That's the Philadelphia Eagles' whole playbook right there. Listen, you can say what you want about the whole psychological things and the is the tush push, should it be banned, should it be this? Listen, I don't really care about that. What I want to talk about is actual football. And when I'm watching the Eagles on TV and I'm watching gritty on the field football, this Eagles team is so boring, man. You got A.J. Brown. You got Devontae Smith. You got Dallas Goedert. You got Saquon Barkley. You got Jalen Hurts. And you're out here doing tush pushes? Come on. Where is this explosive offense that we saw in the Super Bowl last year against the Chiefs? That's the Eagles I want to see. Where's that Eagles at? This is not the same Eagles. I'm going to say this right now. I got the Vikings in an upset. I am over this Eagles team. I think they're going to still go to the playoffs. They're probably still going to win the division. But are you really going to sit up here and tell me that you lost to the New York Giants? Jackson Dart? And Cam Scatterbo, who I love Cam Scatterbo, by the way.
I know you do.
Oh, I love me some Cam Scatterbo. But you're going to sit up here and tell me you lose to that team? Vikings got to bye. Philly's looking ahead. They're worried about Dallas. They're worried about Washington. They ain't worried about no Minnesota Vikings right now. So why shouldn't I pick the Vikings? Yeah, Carson Wentz is awful. Yeah, this Vikings team doesn't have any hope or future. But what do they have? They have a Brian Flores coach defense, and that was my big concern against the Steelers, and that is my exact concern against the Eagles, because the Eagles have their offensive struggles. If anybody could put a stop to the tush push, it's Brian Flores. I'm not saying the tush push will be stopped, but it could definitely be halted. You could definitely put a traffic cone in the way. You could definitely detour it. I'm going with the Vikings in an upset. It'll be a very close game, though. I know you're probably going to disagree, which is cool, but this is my hot take of the week. Give me the Vikings over the Eagles.
I am going to disagree. I'm going the Eagles. I think Jalen Hurts right now is going to bounce back. I think this week, this Eagles team, after this Thursday night loss, and now they've recouped. They've had an extended period to kind of regroup, talk about mistakes going forward, what's been happening. I think this Eagles win is going to push for a victory, and I think they're going to get the victory. Fly, Eagles, fly over the Vikings. I think that the Eagles are going to be able to get in through that offensive line, and they're going to be able to sack Carson Wentz. I say 4 or 5 sacks this game.
I can see that.
I think it's going to happen. I just don't think, though, Minnesota is going to be able to pull through. I think, Eagles defense is going to be top-notch. I do agree, though, with your take about the tush push being stopped and detoured. Brian Flores is amazing right now. Top-notch right now. You can't bet against Brian, but you got to bet against this offense, and I surely am going to do that. Give me the Philadelphia Eagles. Give me the Eagles flying for a victory.
I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at all. That's why it's a hot take. Last 1 o'clock game that we have on the slate is the Carolina Panthers and the New York Jets. I don't want unfortunately give you any flashbacks or PTSD talk about the Panthers, so I'll make it quick for you, Nick Brown. The Panthers did defeat the Cowboys 30-27 last week. My condolences. And the New York Jets suffered a 2-point loss to the Denver Broncos in London 13-11. My God, the Jets are bad. My God, this is the worst team in the NFL. They don't have a win, and I don't think they're going to get it this week. I'm going the Panthers. Very impressed with Bryce Young. As much as I love the MVP run that Baker Mayfield is on, my only complaint about it is overshadowing how good the Panthers are playing. Bryce Young has found his footing. The team is starting to finally put pieces together. The offense looked good all the way up until the fourth quarter when the Cowboys nearly came back. I'm very impressed with this Panthers team. Love the way things are being run. I got to go Carolina again. Give me them back-to-back weeks. I had them in the upset last week against Dallas. The prophecy came true. I believe it's going to be the same result against the Jets, just with a little bit more of an ass-kicking.
When you're 0-6, I don't even know where to begin. How can you even talk about a team that's 0-6? Honestly, Austin, what can you say about a team that's 0-6?
They stink.
They're playing great football. I mean, their QB is just amazing. They have amazing wide receivers and running backs. No, because if that was the case, they would have won at least one game. They lost. They're horrible. I'm surprised they haven't made a change yet at head coach. I just don't see them winning a football game this week. They may win one next week or for the weeks beyond, but this week, Panthers are playing some hot football right now. Give me the Panthers.
Now we go into the 4:05 games. We got 2 of them. First up is New York Giants, Denver Broncos. I said earlier in the year, guys, that I can see the Giants upsetting some teams. I didn't think they were going to go far, but I had a feeling they were going to upset some teams, and we saw just that with Philadelphia. We saw the overtime game against Dallas. The Giants are keeping it tight this year. We got to give credit where credit is due, and Jackson Dart is looking like the franchise guy. Brian Daboll literally went to the tent to make sure he was okay when Russell Wilson came in just because of how bad the fans were booing Russell Wilson to get off the field. And Cam Scatterboo is being everything that I said he was going to be when we did our NFL draft episode a few months ago. Here's the dilemma, though. You were going up against Bo Nix. You were going up against the Denver Broncos, a team that is hungry, a team that is looking for a win. They have not been able to score as efficiently as I would want them to, but they're still a pretty damn good team. I'm actually split on this. This was the toughest game for me this week. So I flipped a coin in my head, and I'm not going to lie, I'm going to narrow it down to home field advantage. Give me the Mile High team. Give me the Denver Broncos. I wouldn't be mad if you picked the Giants, though, because they are hot right now.
I did not pick the Giants.
Okay.
I'm going Broncos. I just don't think Russell Wilson is the answer for this team.
Well, obviously, it's Jackson Dart.
Right. It's Jackson Dart, but I think there's a lot of issues offensively right now. I mean, yeah, they had some upsets, but they just got to get together. This offense seems scattered. I'm not excited. This is probably one game that I'm really going to watch closely because any turnover, any missed opportunity, any slight mistake will definitely change the outcome. I think it's actually going to be a relatively close game. I think it's going to be a one-score game, and it may come down to a field goal. It may come down to the very last seconds of the fourth quarter. Give me the Broncos. I'm riding. I don't want to take the Broncos, but give me the Broncos because they're also on a streak too. They won last week, and they're like steady right now. They're not like in this slump like the Jets and the Giants. I mean, the Giants, you could say they're trying to climb out of the slump, but again, once you climb out of the slump, it's very hard to maintain before declining again. I got to go the Broncos, even though there probably is going to be some pushback and saying you probably should have won with the Giants. But just give me the Broncos to play it safe.
I want to jump around here a little bit. I know we have another 4:05 game, but I want to go on a bit of a rant, if you don't mind. There's a 4:25. There's 2 4:25 games and 1 4:05 game left. We have Colts and Chargers, Commanders and Cowboys, and Packers and Cardinals. I want to start with the Packers and Cardinals real quick because that's going to dive into our Colts analysis because the Cardinals and Colts just played each other last week.
Okay.
So here's the dilemma. I'm picking Green Bay. Why? The Cardinals stink. You don't have a quarterback. He is hurt. You don't have a wide receiver. He is hurt. You don't have a running back. You don't have a left tackle. You don't have a right guard. They are all hurt. They're all banged up. They're all in the ER. There's no rhyme or reason. The season is over. It's kumbaya. Drew Petzing, pack your bags. Jonathan Gannon, better luck next year. Give me the Green Bay Packers. We'll get into the Colts next. What's your thoughts?
That was short, simple, to the point. Give me Jordan Love and the Green Bay Packers. Jordan Love is riding high right now. He is playing some really good football. He's actually a quarterback that looks very healthy in the pocket, can sling the football, can take the hard hits. He's riding high right now, and I think this offense is proving to what the potential could be. You cannot pick a team that is injured, that is bruised, that is just collapsing. You said it best yourself. Season is over. I just don't see the Cardinals winning this game. Next week, I just don't see them winning any other games.
I see them winning some games, and I will say Jacoby Brissett kept it really close. That game should not have been as close as it was. The Cardinals played really good football last week.
Next 2 weeks, I think it's going to just be a rocky. I think the next, last week and the next 2 weeks, it's going to be rocky for the Cardinals. When you don't have any players right now, when you don't have a quarterback, it's just hard. It's really hard to make the connections and get into that feeling of football that you really want to do and, break down this offensive player, break down this defensive player, stop in the run. Green Bay has a lot of techniques, and I think they're going to be able to find a way to pull this victory out in a slam. I don't think it's going to be a close game at all. I think Green Bay is going to come right out of the gate, and I think they're just going to take this game and run away with it.
Now let's talk about the Colts and Chargers. There's a reason why I saved this. The Indianapolis Colts and LA Chargers are the most interesting game to me this week because they're two very similar teams. And I have an analogy that I just thought of right before we got on the show. I was by myself. I did an interview already. I was waiting for you to get out of class. And I was just kind of sitting around looking at my notes, going through the NFL. And I was trying to think of the best way to assess the Colts because the storyline of them this year is, are they legit? Can they win games? And outside of the whole Mitchell penalty with him dropping the ball at the back of the end zone and then also getting flagged and costing the Colts that one game, you really can't tell if the Colts are legit or not. We're not gonna know until later in the season. And I keep asking myself, is the Colts really this good because of Daniel Jones? Is it coaching? Why is this team so good? And when you look at the roster, Nick Brown, they are the Cleveland Cavaliers of the NFL. And here is why. Not because of the star power that they have, but because of the amount of versatility they have on offense. You see, when we talked about the Cavs a lot last year here on 2 Jagoffs, I said that Jared Allen, Evan Mobley, Darius Garland, Donovan Mitchell, you have so many different unique guys that plays a different style of basketball, which gives you the ability to spread the court, the ability to play off the wing, the ability to play off ball, play in the corner, be able to drive inside. You have so many different ways and methods you can score offensively for the Cavs. You can say the same thing about the Colts because of their receiving core. You got an amazing tight end in Warren, one of the best in the NFL. I would argue he's up there with McBride and Brock Bowers. He's very under the radar. You got Josh Downs, a speedster receiver that plays out of the slot. You got Michael Pittman Jr., your big one-on-one guy that you can go downfield for. And Alec Pierce, who's an absolute dog that doesn't get the love that he probably should. The Colts have so many guys that, they might not be the Jamar Chases or the Amon-Ra St. Browns or the CeeDee Lambs of the world where we're talking about them. But the fact that they got 3 really good receivers on their team makes Daniel Jones comfortable. Not to mention that Jonathan Taylor is having a career year in the backfield behind a Hall of Fame offensive line. They are able to spread the field the same way the Cavs are able to spread the basketball on the court, which is why I'm very excited about this Indianapolis team. My only fear, though, is they're going up against a Chargers team that's still kind of unproven. I don't know where they're at. Some weeks they're good, some weeks they're bad. I like Justin Herbert. I love Jim Harbaugh, but where are you actually at? This is the week where I believe the Colts are going to continue to show why they are one of the best teams in the NFL, why they are one of the best teams in the AFC, and I think they're going to go into LA, SoFi Stadium, and beat the Chargers. It's going to be close. It's going to be fun, but with the amount of different talent they have on offense and their ability to spread the field, I got to go Colts.
I think this one was probably the hardest for me this week. Both of these teams are debatable. One week they look fantastic. Next week they look absolutely awful. I just don't know if Daniel Jones is going to have a great game. What happens if he goes into the stadium and this Chargers team, this defense comes out erratically first and goes hard hitting and just powers through and can stop the offense. Mm-hmm. But in return, can the Chargers offense do the same? Are they going to be able to put the points up on the board? Are they going to be able to actually get downfield? Colts are riding high right now. This is a hot team. But you can also say the same for the Chargers. You could make the case some weeks that they're also hot.
Yeah.
Do you bet against a Harbaugh? That's the question.
And the only thing, too, that's kind of worrisome for me is that the Chargers game was way too close to the Dolphins last week. But at the same time, you could say the same thing about the Colts. Their game was way too close. They made a lot of defensive mistakes against the Cardinals, and the Cardinals took advantage of it with a banged-up team. So if you're a banged-up Cardinals and you barely beat them, what makes me believe you're going to beat a fully healthy LA Chargers team? That's where I'm so 50-50. But at the same time, you could say the same thing about the Chargers. Dolphins didn't have Tyreek Hill last week. Where are you at there? I'm going to go with the Colts as well, my friend. I'm agreeing with you here. I think it's time we get to our final 425 game.
Oh,
then
I'm going with the Chargers.
You're going with the Chargers? Oh, I thought you picked...
Nope, I'm going with the Chargers.
Okay.
I'm going with the Chargers. I think Harbaugh's going to be able to swing it out. I think there's going to be a nice victory at home. I just don't think the Colts are going to be able to go into SoFi Stadium and just disrupt and walk out with a victory. I think it's going to be a lot of a challenge. If they can prove it, if they can prove that, fine, great. I think Chargers are going to come out on top, but it's going to be a very close game.
I like that. You may as well put that Chargers hat on while you're at it and celebrate with them.
Okay.
Go put the headphones off. My ears were hurting a little bit, so I had to take the headphones off for a minute. I just did 2 podcasts today. There we go. We got an honorary Chargers fan.
Give me the Chargers.
Give you the Chargers. Well, Nicholas Brown, it is that time of the week again where we talk about them Cowboys.
Please.
And I got a little gift right here. Southern Austin Cairns is back in the flesh. Them Dallas Cowboys going up against the Washington Commanders. Is this on all the ways? There we go. Nice and tight. The Washington Commanders last week lost. They lost the game, yes, to the Chicago Bears in almost what was going to be overtime until Jake Moody said, no, sirree. I'm kicking that field goal straight through the uprights. It is good. We win the game. They're taking on the Cowboys. Them sorry-ass Dallas Cowboys who lost to the Carolina Panthers, arguably one of the worst teams in the NFL that is now starting to come up on the uprise. Listen, Nick Brown, Dak Prescott is, my opinion right now, is the second best player in football. Not just quarterback, player. He is second in the MVP runnings. He is lighting it up. He is electric. He is sensational. He is playing like every dollar that he is worth in that mega contract that he has signed. But my goodness, it is Jerry's world, and we are still living in it. The Dallas Cowboys defense is still the worst in the NFL to week 7. The Dallas Cowboys offensively, although CeeDee Lamb is still not around. George Pickens, he's playing some pretty damn good football. But you let a guy by the name of Rico Dowdle, an undrafted running back that you once famously had, run all over you and have 200-plus scrimmage yards back-to-back weeks against your sorry-ass Cowboys. So here's what I'm going to say about the Dallas Cowboys. I already admitted the Cardinals are bad. There's no reason to even go back to them. They are god-awful. They are probably the worst team in the NFC right now outside of the Saints. I am going to pick the Washington Commanders in a bounce-back victory. Jaden Daniels isn't going to lose back-to-back weeks. This is a sensational quarterback we're talking about, a former Heisman Trophy winner in Jaden Daniels. JD5 is what they like to call him over in Washington, D.C., right down by the U.S. Capitol. That is right. Give me the Washington Commanders against them sorry, pathetic, nauseating Dallas Cowboys. How do?
And that's when the Chargers hat comes off.
Hey, I'm a wrestling fan. I had to do a wrestling promo. Come on.
There's something wrong with you. You're wrong.
When am I not?
You're always wrong. Commanders, sorry, Jane Daniels. I am betting against you. You're not coming into my home. You're not coming into my stadium.
Ooh. Look at the camera while you're talking to Jane Daniels. What does we need to say to Jane Daniels?
Jane Daniels, you're not coming into my stadium. You're not coming into my state. You're not coming anywhere near this turf thinking you're going to get a victory. Give me my Dak Prescott.
My Dak Prescott. Okay.
And these Cowboys riding high with a victory. It's at home. Jerry will be there. CeeDee Lamb may be back. Questionable. My boy George Pickens is riding high right now in Dallas. He's been able to carry the CD weight along with the GP weight, and him and Dak are connecting like it's an unstoppable duo. There's just no way Dak Prescott is losing, and this whole Cowboys team is losing to Jane Daniels and the Commanders. It's not happening. Give me my Dak Prescott and my Cowboys for a nice Sunday victory that I will be sitting on the couch and saying, how was that pick over there?
Next week on Steel City Commuters, Nicholas Brown will be revealing the new crunch numbers too for playoff chances. So I'm excited to hear that next week. This was probably the most civil Cowboys conversation we've probably ever had, surprisingly.
Maybe it's because it's on Two Jagoffs, and Two Jagoffs is the peacemaker.
I guess Two Jagoffs is the peacemaker. I will say, though, I am very proud of you for that promo you cut in the mic right there. Yeah, I could tell the wrestling is starting to wear off on you a little bit.
Why?
You cut a promo like I just did. You were right at the camera. Jaden Daniels, you're not coming in my house. This is the Cowboys' house. I don't know what this whole my Dak Prescott thing is. I don't know about that. But, I mean, there was a good I got to give you a fist bump there. I can't believe I'm about to give you a fist bump after we just talked about the Cowboys.
Mark it on the calendar, people.
Yeah, today's the official day of a Cowboys peace on Two Jagoffs, the Cowboys peace treaty. We can sign it right now.
It will be here every year exclusively on Two Jagoffs.
I love it. Atlanta Falcons, San Francisco 49ers.
Can I interrupt you?
Yeah, what's up? Oh, God.
2 Monday night games? What the hell?
We're not even at Monday yet. We're still on Sunday.
Are we?
Yeah, we got Sunday Night Football.
Oh, my God.
He's ready to cut a whole nother promo.
I'm ready to cut a whole nother promo. Well, Sunday night. Oh, it's another lackluster performance. Another time to turn the TV off.
Falcons, Niners. Who you going with, Nick Brown?
Both teams are bad. It's horrible right now. I don't think the 49ers are playing great football, and I don't think the Falcons are playing great football. Why in the hell would you put these two teams on Sunday night? Not my question. I don't even know why. You should be entertained on Sunday night. 49ers, I guess? I mean, it's at home. I don't think the 49ers are going to lose. But again, these two teams, mediocre performances every week. I mean, ups and downs. Give me a team on Sunday night that is going to ride the victory strong.
You're right. The Falcons are not playing good football. They're playing great football. They just defeated the Buffalo Bills at home 24-14 last week and completely sent Josh Allen shaking into the bye week. I am very impressed with the way Michael Penix Jr. has played under pressure, and Bijan Robinson is actually a favorite in the MVP runnings right now, but unfortunately, it's a quarterback award, so it's probably going to go to a Baker or a Dak or a Goff or someone else.
Dak? My Dak?
Yeah, Dak is second. I'll give you Dak number 2. Not over Baker, but I'll give you Dak definitely number 2 right now, for sure. And we'll talk about Baker when we get to the Bucs, because I have a lot of positive things to say about Mr. Mayfield. I'm going to go with the Niners too, though, Nick Brown. I'm not ready to give the Falcons too much credit yet. I wouldn't say mediocre. I feel like that's a bit of a stretch. The Niners, they're playing mediocre, but again, they're just playing with the cards that was dealt to them. It's the same situation like the Cardinals, same situation like the Ravens. They lost half their team. They don't have their quarterback. They don't have their star edge in Nick Bosa. He's done for the year. Kittle's hurt. The whole team is banged up. So until the Niners can get some official footing, I'm not betting on them long term. But against the Falcons, there's a thing here on Two Jagoffs called the Atlanta curse.
Okay.
Where every time I pick the Falcons, they lose, and every time I pick against the Falcons, they win. Last week, it was the same thing with the Atlanta curse. I picked the Bills. What did they do? They won. So now that I'm picking the Niners, they're probably going to win again. It's just going to happen. I just clicked on a YouTube video. They're probably going to win again. Give me the San Francisco 49ers. Now it is time for you to do your little Monday Night Football rant. We got a 10 o'clock game. What the hell?
NFL, this is week 7. I'm sorry, but as a college student, as a person that has to get up bright early Tuesday morning, my ass will not be watching your 10 o'clock game. We're at the point of the season that you do not need a Monday night doubleheader. One single game. You're telling me you couldn't fit Houston at Seattle into a slate at 1 o'clock slate, 4:25 slate into CBS or Fox. You're telling me one of them couldn't take it? 2 doubleheaders? It's not interesting. I'm sorry. Trying to juggle between both games, 7 o'clock and 10 o'clock, it does not need to happen. NFL, fix your officiating and also fix the people that schedule these games. 2 of them in the NFL are horrible. What's going to be the third? What's going to be the third wrongdoing? Oh, international games. Having the Vikings play back-to-back international games, that's bullshit. Sorry, NFL. I'm not a big fan right now. You're like tanking right now. You've climbed the mountain. You're riding low in my book. But that's my rant on Monday Night Football. 10 o'clock? Come on.
Well, before we get to 10 o'clock, we got 7 o'clock. Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Detroit Lions, arguably game of the week. I have a lot of thoughts on this, but I want to go to you first, DTNB. As the honorary Jagoff this week, watching 2 of the best teams in football.
Yes.
Bucs struggled last week, but they still pulled away. And the Lions, I mean, we all thought they were going to win, but they actually lost to the Chiefs. What's your thoughts here?
I am torn on this game. I think this is probably going to be in our poll that you do every week, and everything that we talk about and everybody who predicts. This game is either going to make or break, because you could argue one mistake that the Bucs make, one mistake that the Lions make could turn this game upside down. Which defense, though, is going to power high? Your offense can do whatever they want. You can put up 30, 40, 50 points. Don't care. If your defense, though, gives up 20, 30, 40, that's an issue. I don't know Dan Campbell is coaching good football right now. He's had a lot of ups and downs. He's very aggressive, just like Andy Reid, but a different aggressive. His aggressiveness doesn't always end in a result that he wants. Normally, it's a turnover on fourth down, in my opinion. That's just the way I see it. The Bucs, though, I'm also questioning their aggressiveness. They're really not that aggressive as they should be. It's at Detroit. This is going to be hard because one mistake is going to happen, but I don't see the Lions losing back-to-back games. So give me the Detroit Lions over the 49ers.
You mean the Buccaneers?
I'm sorry, yes, over the Tampa Bay Bucs.
And this is where we part ways. I am going with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and here is why. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers do not have Mike Evans. They do not have Chris Godwin. They now do not have Emeka Egbuka, their star rookie receiver who's playing great football right now. They do not have Bucky Irving. They're down to Tez Johnson and Sterling Shepard and Rashad White. That is their offense that Mayfield is working with. And you're probably like, Austin, that is literal practice squad players they're playing with right now. How could you pick Baker Mayfield and the Buccaneers with their 3 starting receivers and their starting running back all on the shelf? Here's why. The Buccaneers should not win this game. They should not beat the Lions. But what the Lions have is a penalty issue. A lot of people pointed out the penalties last week against the Chiefs. Guess what? It wasn't just against the Chiefs. It's been all season. The Detroit Lions have been getting penalized a lot this year. And obviously, I know the card was thrown about the Chiefs and the officials last week. But that's what I've been watching the Lions closely all year because I think the Lions are a sleeper in the Super Bowl. This is an ongoing issue. It has nothing to do with them just playing the Chiefs. They struggled against this with every team they play this year. They've been getting like 6 to 7 penalties a game. Yes. You can't have that. And that does fall on Dan Campbell. You are 100% right about that. Coaching decisions that he is making late in the games, 4th downs, going for it, not going for it. Those are costly changes that either makes or breaks your team. And I feel like when you're going up against someone as aggressive as Baker Mayfield, the guy who is the second best hard count in the NFL behind Aaron Rodgers, that is not a guy that you want to mess with. That is not a guy you want to play trickery with or have trick plays against. That's a guy that you need to play all aggressive football. Jared Goff's not playing bad. Amon-Ra St. Brown, David Montgomery, Jahmyr Gibbs, Sam Laporte. This is a good team. Jameson Williams, good team. Very good team. Aiden Hutchinson's back. But losing both of your coordinators to head coaching jobs last year, Johnson to Chicago and Glenn to New York, it's obvious that those holes are starting to show. And this is where I pick the Bucs. Baker Mayfield has the most game-winning drives without his 3 starting receivers. Baker Mayfield has the most passing yards. Baker Mayfield is leading almost every stat possible and is protecting the football. And most importantly, he gets in your face and he tells you how it's done. If you push him to the ground, he's going to get in your face and be like, excuse me, who the hell do you think you are? That is who you want as your quarterback. That is who I would draft as my quarterback. And that is why Cleveland made the biggest mistake of the century by getting rid of him. Give me Tampa Bay. Give me my MVP. Give me our MVP right now. Baker Mayfield is playing all-out, lights-out football. I love the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I love what I'm seeing from them. I want them to win the Super Bowl so bad. I highly doubt it's going to happen.
I think they're going to make it to the playoffs first.
Oh, they're making it to the playoffs. They're going to win the division easily. I mean, the Falcons, you just mentioned, they've been off and on all year.
Yes.
The Saints are atrocious, and the Panthers are finally just starting to win games. So, yeah, Bucs are getting an easy path to the playoffs. The question is, are they going to win a playoff game?
How are players going to react in the playoffs? I think how the QB pressure,
Well, let's not forget, Mayfield has a playoff win against the Pittsburgh Steelers.
He does.
Mike Evans is a Super Bowl champion. He's going to be eventually back. I mean, the coaching staff was around for when Brady was still in the league, so it's not like this is an inexperienced team. This is an experienced team going in the playoffs. I just want to see how Baker plays under the pressure because we've seen all great court. We've seen Allen amazing in the season but collapse in the playoffs. Lamar amazing in the season but collapse in the playoffs. Baker is amazing right now. Is he going to collapse? It's what we're going to have to wait and see because we've only seen Baker succeed so far. This is going to be a good game, though. I'm excited.
You staying up?
Oh, yeah.
7 o'clock.
I'll be in Mina's class. I'll be watching on my phone.
I'll be at bingo.
Of course you will be.
Sorry.
All right, Houston Texans and Seattle Seahawks are the last game. The Bills and Ravens are both on byes this week, so they both are getting much-deserved rest. The Ravens need it because they're banged up, and the Bills lost back-to-back weeks. So we have a lot of storylines to talk about them next week when they're back in action. Texans are coming off of a bye while the Seahawks are coming off a victory against the Jags. Listen, Sam Darnold is being everything that I said he was going to be. Very excited, but I'm actually going to give a different player credit. What is up with my boy Jackson Smith-Njigba? He is on track to have over 1,900 yards, 9 touchdowns, and 115 plus receptions this year. The rate that he's playing at, that's going to be his final stat line on the season if he keeps playing this way. Jackson Smith-Njigba, JSN, is finally stepping out of the shadows because remember, for the longest time in Seattle, you had DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett both ahead of him in the depth chart. JSN has now stepped into that wide receiver 1 role with Jake Bobo and Cooper Kupp coming in at 2 and 3. Love what I'm seeing from the Seahawks offense. Love what I'm seeing from my boy K9 and Zach Charbonnet. UCLA represents. Screw Penn State. I got to go with the Seahawks here, man. I am not a fan of the way the Texans are playing. I'm not sold on CJ Stroud. I'm not sold on the Texans organization. I never have, and I probably never will. I got to go Seahawks here.
I agree. Texans are sloppy right now. CJ Stroud can make a lot of game time decisions that are very questionable, and I think coaching too is also very questionable. And this offense just isn't getting that drive. They can start something, Austin, but I feel like the Texans and CJ Stroud can never finish it. They could start, they could get downfield, and then a rookie mistake or like a critical mistake, a turnover. This one didn't have 2 feet in bounds. This one started to go, cross the plane, but never broke the field goal. It's just sloppiness. And when you have sloppiness, Monday night prime time, it can't happen. You need to be on your A game. I think the Seahawks defense right now, I think that's going to give them their little edge over the Texans, but I also think it's Monday night at home at Seattle. I don't see Seattle losing this one. Give me the Seahawks.
And that right there, ladies and gentlemen, is every single NFL game that'll be played in Week 7 and our recap from Week 6. Nick, my friend, it was so good to have you on for the weekly predictions finally. You will definitely be brought back as a guest picker, and I plan on bringing on special guest pickers the rest of the season. Not every week, but we will have some returning Jagoffs, some debuting Jagoffs, and possibly a group of Jagoffs, all on 2 Jagoffs, for NFL Weekly Predictions. We're going to add it on top of our interview Sundays, which is popping off. Don't forget to go check out Greg Brown from this past week, Joe Dombrowski this week, and Nick Brown. I think there's a very special event coming up in 2 weeks' time.
No, there's no event coming up.
Oh, there's not?
Nope.
I guess I read the wrong
Wait,
calendar.
Before we go, are you talking about 2 Jagoffs Live?
Oh.
Hosted by Austin Cairns in partnership with Point Parks University Day of Giving? Yes, that is happening Wednesday, October 29th from 4 to 7 in the Fishbowl. Tickets are available. They're free to everybody. There is no cost. I'm surely having the fit today. I had to wear this.
Yes, sir. On the 2 Jagoffs return and everything.
So we hope to see you there because Austin has a full panel ahead. There's prizes, T-shirts, drinks. I'm going to be there. I have the finest suit ready. And there's definitely going to be shenanigans.
A lot of chaos expected.
I'm excited.
I'm excited too. As the weeks get closer, I've been getting nervous. That's been private conversations I've had with the whole team that I have been shaking in my boots because this is a very big deal. Hundreds of thousands of dollars are on the line for students.
$350,000.
Well, that's the goal.
That's the goal. But we're going to hold you to that goal.
I'm hoping we break it. I'm hoping we get $400,000. I highly doubt it's big, but $350,000.
What do you mean you highly? No. I don't actually highly doubt it. I think you can crush 350 for, I think maybe even 5. Topping off. Given your reputation, given who's going to be at this event, given the outreach that we have done so far, and given where 2 Jagoffs is going, I think everybody who watches and is going to attend this event is going to want to donate and see where this takes us.
And I appreciate those kind words, Nick Brown. Day of Giving, 2 Jagoffs Live, 2 weeks' time, Wednesday, October 29th. Not going to want to miss it. Nick, my friend, it was so good to have you on the podcast today. We will be bringing you back. If you want to see more of me and Nick Brown, don't forget. Sorry for Billy. If you want to see more of Nick Brown and I, go check out Steel City Commuters from yesterday. We had Point Park's very own provost, Sherry Payne, making her podcasting debut true trailblazer, first ever female guest on Steel City Commuters. Go check that out. It's out on platforms. 2 Jagoffs streaming every single week. Nick, you got any final words for the audience before we let them go?
Okay, take some more time off. I'll hold the seat down while you're off. Jumbo Dad, you need to get your ass back here because predictions is not like it without you. I mean, I know I would have been torched the whole time for half my takes, and I really do miss it. I think that's what brings our friendship closer, and just this whole humility and how we can get through every game in an hour and 10 minutes. But okay, take some more time off. It's well deserved, my friend.
Love you, Dad. Hope you come back soon.
Nothing to LK too?
I love LK too.
Okay,
I agree with you. He needs to take some time off. He's a hard worker. Very hard worker, okay?
Especially at Giant Eagle. I don't know what they would do without him.
I know. Who's going to push all them shopping carts?
And I can surely take your place, LK. So.
Whoa. Well, they got Mr. Jack Dean now at that Giant Eagle too.
On that note, I will not be going to that Giant Eagle.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all so much for tuning in to yet another episode. Until Sunday, I will see you all in the next one.
Peace.